Hey YouTubers, how's it going? It's Saturday night. What the heck? I'm having a heck of a time with my camera lately. It's the light settings are off or something. Anyway, not a lot happening. My son came out, number 1 and number 3 was reffing hockey today. But number 1 was out with the kids, which was nice. And he had a bad back, so we didn't get to do any drywalling. We did some other stuff anyway. So not a lot going on, just kind of getting stuff ready in the garage here. Little jobs that have to be done so we can drywall. I had some fluorescent lights up and stuff like that, and trying to get that done, and take the lights down. And then I had a length of clothesline put up about 1/3 of the way into the garage from the main door, from the lift up door, and had to take that down. I had that there because in the winter when it gets brutally cold, before it might be different now that the garage is going to be insulated, but I don't know what's going on with this camera. I've screwed it up royally, so it's not showing colors properly, or don't know. Anyway, it's nice and warm in here, sitting out here in a t-shirt. Got some snow last night. Got about 5 to 7 centimeters, I guess it was. It'd be about, I don't know, 2 or 3 inches. So everything's nice and white, and it's dropped down a bit in temperature, so things aren't going to be too sloppy. It's a little bit slushy still, but a few degrees colder and it'll be good. Not going to do much today. This is Saturday, and I had number 3 son Kyle there was doing his best impersonation of a monkey, climbing around in the rafters of the garage, taking stuff down that I had stored up there. The rear seat out of a Toyota Camry that I had up there, and a couple of back windows from 510s, and these are the ones, they have the defroster grids on them. A lot of 510s didn't have that. And also I had some scrap lumber that I had put up years ago against the rafters that ran around the perimeter of the garage, about 2 to 3 feet out from the wall. And when I was working on cars at home a lot more back in the mid to late 90s, I used to have plastic stapled to it, just vapor barrier, and whenever I needed to paint a car or something, I had the stuff rolled up, and I just undo the strings and drop the plastic down, tape it to the floor, instant paint booth. And then when I was done, I just pull the tape off the floor, roll the stuff up, tie it up, and I was back, and none of my stuff was covered with overspray. I did little spot fixes in the garage, and I painted, I don't know, 3 or 4 cars in here, and it worked great. And I'm not going to put that up again like that right away, but I will eventually next time I have to paint a car, which is likely going to be the Roadster. Looking forward to doing that, actually. And that's one of the purposes. You know, here I have up to 22 videos. Commercial break. I don't really want to call them commercial breaks. That's a Tommy Shoes thing. The last couple of videos on HPR's page and JamesFreddys there, Jeff. Like I was a mechanic for years, so I had exposure to tools, and from ice racing and road racing cars, and I raced four-wheel drives back in the 80s. I had collected a number of body tools, but you know, I'm not a body man, other than just for a hobby and to fix my own toys. The last couple of videos you have with you know, Jeff showing you're doing the block sanding and showing us that, and showing us on the Mustang there, the 500, and HPR showing us a basic range of tools and stuff like that. That is fantastic. And like you said, you know, you guys are showing us how to do this stuff, and you know, although I've done it all, maybe I may have learned wrong because I was self-taught, but it worked for me, and I've never had a reason to change. But the stuff you're teaching us is going to help me be able to do things better, because I'm learning little tips. And where I quite often fell down on the job with body work was, when I would do hammer and dolly work, I found that I was trying to move the metal too quickly with harder hits with the hammer. So I got to learn to be a little more patient there. And when it gets down to the boarding it out, that's where I fell down in my body panels, where I could get them pretty straight, but not really sure how to do it. And you know, showing the boards you use and the grits you use is so much easier and better to absorb that from you guys than it was from the numerous books that I've read on the subject. You know, they got those Peterson publications I've had for years on custom painting and doing your own body work and that. And those are great, but nothing beats hands-on learning from watching someone actually doing it, and then getting your hands on yourself. I didn't bring the tripod out, which is causing part of the trouble, but combination of a wheeled tool tray and an old hammer. Hopefully that's a little better, and holy crap, maybe it's not, because now I'm sitting too close to the wood stove and getting cooked alive here. Anyway, yeah, the classes you guys are running, I am learning a lot, and I've done some of this stuff. That damn light just won't turn off. Let's see if I can turn it off by manually here. Maybe that'll work. That's better. I'm just seeing spots. Take a minute for my eyes to adjust. Anyway, I've done a lot of this stuff, or quite a bit of the stuff you've been showing. And I'm learning a lot, so I can only imagine people that are maybe first timers learning to use the tools and not just not just explaining what you're doing in little sections, but having gone right back to the basics and started over like you did on yours there, HPR. You know, that's fantastic. If you're questioning or wondering if it's the right thing to do, absolutely. It's another nice thing about having the wood stove in the garage. I just keep a tin of hot chocolate out here and bring out a water jug full of water and boil up the water on the stove and have a hot chocolate or whatever whenever I want without having to go in the house for it. You know, there's a lot to be said for having a furnace or being in a warm climate, but you can't beat the smell and the feel of a wood stove. And another thing too, watching Jeff doing the replacing that rear quarter on the race car, it's really funny how things work out. And I've had cases like this before. You were talking about that punch. That you used to punch the holes in the panel to do the plug welds. And the very day we watched that, my youngest son and I watched that, you were showing us that punch. And just an hour and a half earlier in the garage we were putting tools away. And my son had picked something up and asked me what it was. And I couldn't remember the name, and I had got this in a box of stuff from an estate. But you know, just and it's just uncanny. You were showing us this type of punch the same day that, and I've had it kicking around for probably close to 20 years, and I don't throw tools away, so I keep them. What it was is when I was racing, I had bought one of those hydraulic rams at an estate sale, and in that box there were a couple other tools in there, and a couple of them I saw, and I just left them in the back burner or threw them in the junk drawer just to keep them. I never knew what they were, so now I know what this is for. And my son and I actually grabbed a piece of sheet metal, and we were popping a couple holes in it. And I guess, you know, it's a very old one, and I don't know if I can, well, maybe I can adjust the depth on it or something. Yeah, it feels like it's backing off or something. But I don't have all the different sized ones like you'd mentioned, because it's just what I got was what I got. But you know, I was going to buy one of those little air ones, the little air flanger that has the hole puncher in it. But this thing, you know, and I'm surprised how easy it is, you know, to pop a hole. You know, I have it set too high, but you know, just like that, and you got a nice hole for doing the plug welds. Except now I got it jammed. I don't know how I did that, but I did. Let's see what I did. Okay. But like I see, this is an old tool, and it's been kicking around for years. Never really fully understood what it was for. I thought it was some kind of a punch. Was never sure, and I've never cleaned it up enough to bother to read the manufacturer's name, because you know, that wasn't what I was looking for when I got it. It was the RAM, so anything in there was a bonus. But when you have it adjusted right, you know, it's just a one-handed operation to pop holes. You know, this one is maybe it's worn in or worn out or something, but you know, I just, you know, one hand, and just like that, and I got a nice, you know, couple of nice holes for doing the plug welds. So I really appreciate that, Jeff. Learn something new every day, and like I say, I've had tools for years, and I was a mechanic for years. And I had another tool I was looking for. Since we're on the subject of tools, I have another one that I think it's from the body shop. It came in the same box. I can't find it. And I'll have to find it and ask, because I'm not really sure what it's for. So I'll ask. Maybe you guys have used them in the past. You never know. And I can make use of another tool that I've had for 20 years that I'm not sure what it was for. Well, there's the 22ST. There's the Iceman. So now you know where I get my my YouTube name from. That's the driver's door from my last race car. I don't know if it'll show this way, but I don't think Datsun 510 car doors are concave like that.